I'm Daniel, and welcome to my Emunah channel. We here at the channel are continuing in our series of videos with respect to inspiration, information, education, guidance, advice, and I want to discuss the concept of Chukim. Chukim are commandments, laws that don't apparently make any sense. Let me explain. There are many categories of mitzvot, of commandments. Two of them I want to talk about now is Chukim and Mishpatim. Mishpatim, these are rational laws. These are laws that make sense. Don't murder, don't steal, don't kidnap people. They make sense. Most societies, almost all societies, have these similar rules. Chukim. Laws that don't necessarily have an apparent self-evident rationality to them. Wearing fringes on the corners of your garments throughout the generation. Eating matzahs on Passover, Sabbath, and some of them are edot. They have to do with holidays, festivals, holy days, the Sabbath, and you can figure them out once you have the once you're given the explanation. But there are other laws that just we do them. They're commandments, and that's why we do them. And so it was Sefas Emes who says that he minimizes the distinction between Chukim and Mishpatim. He says, don't be so occupied with what you can reason out and what you can't. Do them because they're expressions of the will of God. Put another way, we do them because God said. Not the most satisfying in the answer in the world for someone who's trying to seek a deeper meaning, but he says when the rubber hits the road, that's what we do it. We do it because God said. And it was the Piaseczner Rebbe following the path of the Sefas Emes, and this tendency to minimize the distinction between Chukim and Mishpatim. He says the notion of Mishpatim, of these rules that make sense based on the existence of a person's intellect, is a person's intellect has a limit. And sometimes a person's intellect can be fooled. But when we resign ourselves to the fact that whatever deep things we may get from them, ultimately we do it because it's the will of God, and we do it because of God. Even, I remember, when it comes to mitzvahs, commandments that give us pleasure. Resting on the Sabbath. It's things that you get great joy from. Whatever joy and pleasure you have, think of it not as you're getting joy and pleasure for your own sake, but that what you derive makes God happy. It's for God's pleasure, God's enjoyment, that we do things. We're going to be doing more videos along these lines, especially with respect to commandments that don't apparently make sense. A lot of people have a tough time with this, especially with respect to commandments and restrictions regarding the Sabbath. Please come back, please watch, please learn, and until next time, I'm Daniel, and thank you too much.